What's up, everybody? It's Jeffrey Lyles welcoming you to another edition of Lyles Figure Files. A couple weeks ago, Hasbro revealed its classic Marvel Legends Ant-Man figure. A lot of us were really excited. We finally got to knock off one of those last remaining Toy Biz figures, badly in need of a Hasbro update. And Hasbro's tried a couple times with Ant-Man before. None of them really quite did it until this reveal a couple weeks ago. But my guy Aaron Wiley was like, I see that no one is thinking of Black History Month where we could see some African American figures. I think that when it comes to Black History Month, no one cares. And it was February 24th, so admittedly most of the month is over with. But Hasbro, I guess somebody realized it is Black History Month. Maybe we should get a black character out there to the masses, and maybe a figure that a lot of collectors have been waiting for a very long time, including me. So when we got the reveal of Power Man, I was so excited. So we got Luke Cage and all of his classic 70s throwback glory. Got the big flowing yellow shirt, half open. Got the silver tiara. Got the chain belt. And in the great Han Solo Empire Strikes Back controversy, is that jacket blue? Is it brown? Got him with his black pants, which is always kind of weird to me because whenever I see the old photos, the old comic book covers, he's in blue. He's wearing blue pants and not black. I guess that kind of became this thing of, well, the shading's actually blue, but the pants are black. To me, those are blue. And I'm figuring, knowing Hasbro like I do, we're going to see a retro version of Luke Cage with blue pants. So that way we can solve the age-old debate. Are his pants blue? Are they black? I know back with the Toy Biz figure, they were black. So there's precedence for this to have the black pants instead of blue. I'm still waiting to get a Luke Cage figure in these blue pants though. But I will not complain. I finally got the Power Man that I wanted. I'm hoping he's not alone because when you got Power Man, you kind of expect to see Iron Fist. Now Hasbro also kind of teased that this might not be the last reveal of Marvel Legends in February. So they said on their Instagram, February has been power-packed with Marvel Legends reveals and pre-orders, but we saved one of the strongest peeps for last. So they've saved one of the strongest peeps for last. Now I'm thinking, like probably a lot of you, that means we're going to see Iron Fist in the next couple days. But if we go with Aaron's thought, maybe this is an opportunity for Hasbro to all of a sudden start rolling out all these black characters that they haven't throughout all of February. And maybe there are a few more black characters to come. And I was thinking, well, I feel like Hasbro's done a pretty decent job of knocking out most of the prominent black heroes. We got Black Panther, we got Storm, we got Falcon, we got Falcon Cap, we got War Machine, Miles Morales. We got a bunch of the prominent black characters, Brother Voodoo as well. But there are still a few big league black characters that probably need figures done relatively soon before the figures start costing $35. So you guys know I love doing a good list, so I'm hoping you guys like this one too, because I decided let's just crank out a few black characters. Hopefully we'll see over the next couple days in these last waning days of February. So here's my list of black characters that hopefully Hasbro will reveal very soon. First up is my main man, Triathlon. You guys know I love the Kurt Busiek George Perez version of the Avengers. That's one of my favorite runs. Such great art, great characterization. Triathlon came in kind of midway through. Really interesting character. A disgraced Olympian. Has all these powers and does not take lightly to join in the team. He's really like, I don't want to be part of these guys. But his church that he belongs to encourages him to join. And he decides to do it and eventually becomes a valued member of the team. Triathlon has a great outfit. It's got a cool look to him. And he's not hidden with the mask. You see very clearly he's a black guy. And I love to get him out soon so then we can eventually double dip and give us that super version with him as a 3D man. We're a little bit more hidden, Kyle, so we're not seeing as much of his face, that cool fade. But I'd love to see Triathlon so I can put him in my corner display with my Perez Busiek version of the Avengers, which means I also need a Heroes Reborn Iron Man. But what are the odds that Hasbro will do another Iron Man figure? All right, so then next up, another character with ties to the Avengers. He's a big one. I'm talking about Black Goliath. Bill Foster's been around for a very long time. Was a prominent member of the Defenders. I mean, this guy has such a cool outfit. He's got the flared collar. Wore this in homage to him. And the white, the blue, which will probably get turned into black when the figure comes out. But he's got a really cool figure, or really cool design. I think he'd make for an awesome figure. You know, he got one earlier with that Marvel Universe 3.75 line where they did a 12-inch version of a figure and a smaller one. That was that Civil War set. As a Bill Foster fan, I'd like not to think about Civil War. One of the worst parts about that whole series, like, let's kill off one of the few black guys in the Marvel Universe. Anyway, he's back now because no one in comic books stays dead. But I'd love to see a figure of him, hopefully with real articulation for a giant. That previous one they released is kind of janky with some really ratchet joints, and he doesn't pose very well. But I'd love to see him with a modern sculpting, modern articulation, and representing the first of hopefully many giant figures in this line. I'd love to see him maybe in a 2-pack with Hank Pym, just standard scientist lab coat wearing Hank Pym, so we can get a 2-pack of them. Giant man, giant size, Black Goliath, Dr. Hank Pym. That could work for us, but I really love to see that. So anyway, he's another one that should be added to the cast, hopefully soon, because of his prominence in big events like Civil War and just being a cool looking character. Next up is Silhouette. You guys know my love of the New Warriors. I always love that team because they had not one but two but three black characters in the cast right away. And Silhouette was really cool because she was kind of like this ninja, but she also used crutches, and it was never shown to be some, oh, she can't do anything because she's on crutches. She was doing her thing and using her crutches as like stun batons. She was doing her thing, and she would use them as props to kick dudes. She would plant the crutches down and then do a leaping kick. She's amazing. Really great character. I'd love to see her because we're so close. We're almost at that halfway point of getting the New Warriors completed in the first place. We just need Silhouette, need Namorita, Justice / Marvel Boy, and we've got the main original core team. I'd still probably like to see a redo of Rage and the original costume for Nova, but we're almost there. But we need to have Silhouette to have a completed version of the New Warriors. And then while I'm on a roll with team completions, because you all know that Hasbro's all about completing teams they start. But we've started off with Generation X. We've got Chamber. We've got M coming in this latest X-Men Build-A-Figure wave showed. But since they started, there's so many more members of this team. And they probably need a guy body on that costume to start cranking out the rest of the figures. And why not go with Sync? Sync is a really great character. He can mimic everybody's powers. He's part of the main squad now in the comic books. But if we get him, we probably need to have him in his Gen X look. That way he can go along with Chamber and M, Skin, Jubilee, all the rest of that cast. But it'd be really nice to see him show up pretty soon so we can have Sync and M together. Chamber, he's another character that would be worthwhile getting into the line. Also because he adds a base body for the rest of the Gen X guys. And then I'm going super extreme with my 90s love because we've gotten a lot of S.H.I.E.L.D. characters over the years, and G.W. Bridge was one of those characters like, man, he exemplifies everything about the 90s right here. He's got the extreme pouches, the big vest, and he's got the Philly, the goatee. I mean, he is 90s true and true, but he's a cool looking character. He's got a great design again, and he flashes out more members of S.H.I.E.L.D. and he interacts with Cable, Wolverine, and all those guys, X-Force, so you can kind of have him as a S.H.I.E.L.D. agent and also interacting with our X-Force characters as well. But since we've got so many S.H.I.E.L.D. grunts, we've got Army Builders, we've got Quake, we've got Maria Hill, Nick Fury, why not add another member of S.H.I.E.L.D.? And let's get G.W. Bridge in there as well. And then finally, I'm going to go with Heather Hudson. Not the typical one that you're expecting, not the one from Alpha Flight, but the member of the Exiles who happened to be black. And her powers were basically like Snowbird. She turned into the big Sasquatch, so white, big, giant Sasquatch. I'm thinking, again, this is another opportunity for Hasbro to experiment with more deluxe size 2-packs so we can get Heather in her regular non-powered up version in a 2-pack with the mold that they've already got for Sasquatch. Just paint them white. I think that could double dip really well for Snowbird if you wanted to for your classic Alpha Flight fans. But have her in a 2-pack with the Sasquatch that's just a repaint. And then we've got a 2-for that works for both versions, the Exiles and the Alpha Flight version. And I'd love to see her because, you know, they started with the Exiles. We've got Blink, we've got Mimic. We can get another member of that team. Then we can get Mimic. And getting pretty closer to getting that core group of exiles. I really love to see her in that. You know what? I'm going to throw in one more. Isaiah Bradley, the Captain America behind the truth, the one that America didn't want you to know about. And I really thought Hasbro was going to take advantage of Isaiah's appearance in The Falcon and the Winter Soldier to rush out and get a Isaiah Bradley version of Captain America out. We didn't, but I think there's still an opportunity. He's going to be in Captain America New World Order, so there's still an opportunity to sync up and alongside that movie wave, maybe do a half and half and have Isaiah be one of those comic book versions of that movie's release, that lineup. But I'd love to see him. His costume is really unique and it stands out. It's like that bandana style mask. I would love to see that. Put him in my shelf. Don't even know where I put him. Maybe my Captain America display. But he's a really great design, a cool character, and I think he's somebody that Hasbro would have a lot of fun with their sculptors knocking this figure out. So there we go. Those are some more suggestions of characters that Hasbro can still reveal, still show us with a few remaining days of February to honor Black History Month. We'll see what happens. If nothing else, I'll be happy to see Iron Fist joining his guy, Power Man. So let me know what you guys think. Are there any other Black characters that you want to see joining up with this Marvel Legends line anytime soon? As always, thank you so much for watching. This episode of Lyle's Figure Files has been filed.